I don't know that there was outside pressure. I think there's always a lot of rumors out there in regards to our hockey program, but I didn't personally feel any pressure to make that change. I think we just took a look at the landscape, looked at what other institutions are doing, decided that we want to continue to be very competitive and to step up our efforts in that area.
And what about just in terms of the record and the finishes over the last couple of years? Does that factor into it as well?
Yes and no. And the reason I say yes and no is because you really have to take a look at the overall record over the last 12 years, which is pretty good. Over the last 8 years, it's pretty good. But the last couple of years, yeah, it's amazing how our team comes back. I mean, when you see the second half of the season, if they could play that way all year long, that'd be great. And it says a lot about the coach if he's able to get this team back and playing consistently.
If that's the case, why make a change? That's the main thing.
Yeah. Well, I think I've said that I think just having some new ideas, new ways of coaching, coming with a possibly a little slightly different venue, sometimes it's good to bring those new ideas to the forefront. And I think just, and that is not to say, really, I want to make sure that I underscore this so that you don't get it wrong in the media and the newspaper, that Troy has served us very well. But I think, like in everything, sometimes it's time for change, to maybe try something new. And that's it in the most general way that I can describe.
So I think our record was 12, 24, and 2 this year. If we were 24, 12, and 2, would we be here this morning?
Again, I think we'd be taking a look at the longer-term record. And I would say we might still be here today, even with that record, in part because I think we're seeing things shift in the WCHA and in the national leagues that are developing, the Big Ten League and the National Collegiate League. We're seeing a shift in focus and direction and support. We're going to need as many resources as we can garner to keep our program strong and successful. So we need a good fundraiser. We need someone who can really bring the boosters back in line. And so I think a coach can do that, but I think it takes more than a coach to do that as well.
Maybe a couple more questions for the president.
How tough of a sell is it going to be to bring in a new coach and to also to have the university be bearing 2 coaches' salaries?
Well, I think I'll answer that in 2 parts. First of all, how tough will it be to attract new coaches? I know we're already getting calls from individuals that are interested. I think the door is open to bring in perhaps some of the most attractive individuals. There's already been interest expressed on the part of some. I don't think we're going to have difficulty attracting candidates for this position. It just so happens the timing is right with the Final Four coming up, but we'll be able to really promote and broadcast this position. I think also the university is fully committed. And as president of the university, making that very, very clear. We're not pulling back on hockey in the WCHA. We're going to step it up a notch or two. And so I think that's going to attract really good candidates for the position. The second part is a question that is a little more difficult to answer. It's kind of a loaded question. And I would say that what I already talked about in terms of needs that I need here at the university, that Kevin Buisman, our athletic director, can help provide, but he's got all these other sports he has to focus on, is I need somebody that really knows hockey, who's well known throughout the country, throughout the league, somebody that can work with me and work with the other presidents in the WCHA to really make a difference. I can tell you we've had a few meetings with the new presidents of the WCHA. They're all very, very determined to continue to make this, continue the tradition of the WCHA. It's going to require some help. And you know, normally the president, this isn't my day job, but it has becoming part of my day job as I try to make sure that we remain competitive and become even more competitive. So I need somebody who's well respected within the league who can help me do that. So I don't think that's going to be a detractor. Having Coach Jutting working with me, it's just the opposite in my mind.
Thank you. I think Troy said it best. At heart, he's a Maverick. His passion, dedication, loyalty, and commitment to the university is unrivaled. I can't say enough good things about sort of the character and integrity. If Troy's a role model, and that's the coaching our student athletes are getting, they're better for the experience. They're going to be great leaders. They are great ambassadors in the community. They're doing things right. They're doing things right in the classroom. The way that Troy has handled this situation, it's been a situation that transpired over the course of the last week. It's unbelievable. But I shouldn't have expected less. Troy's a great professional. He's committed to the university. He understands the business. He understands the decision that was made, and he's ready for the next assignment to work on behalf of the university. So I empathize with the situation, but I'm heartened to know that we're going to have Troy continue to be working in some capacity on behalf of the university and still a part of the important part of this community. So open it up for questions.
President Davenport said by the end of the summer. Would you like to go earlier than that, or how quickly is your timeline?
We'd like to go as quickly and as efficiently as the process will allow. You know, I'm excited that the president and Vice President Straka are involved in all of our coaching searches, but I think he wants to have a more involved and defined role in this search. You know, it is a university. We've got a process to work through, but for the sake of the current student athletes and the incoming student athletes that have committed to us, I think it's a process that we need to work through quickly. And we'll sit down and discuss that process more thoroughly, talk about everybody's role in that process, begin identifying prospective candidates. You know, we'll work proactively at that. We know that we have to sell this university, this community, and this program. And part of that's much like our coaches recruit their student athletes. I believe that we've got to go out and actively recruit the next head coach for this program.
Do you have a short list?
We have a short list.
Kevin, was there a main contributing factor that just made it feel like this is the time for the change, or what was that?
Well, I think, as President Davenport mentioned, this is you know, anybody that's made the kind of commitment that Troy's made to the university and this athletic program, the decision has to be carefully considered and has to be with the due diligence and deliberation that it deserves. But I think we were also cognizant of the trends. As Troy alluded to, it's a business. And you know, we were seeing a downturn in attendance. A lot of factors at play. I think everybody understands the economy and everything else that can be a contributing factor. But you know, we were starting to notice the trends in terms of walk-up ticket sales, season tickets, Blue Line Club memberships. Not all of that, you know, falls at Troy's feet, but at the same time, you know, we were feeling that in order to address sort of those trends and to try to win back that fan base, that perhaps a change was necessary. And that's the tough part of coaching. That you know, when they win, they get a lot of credit. When they lose, they probably get a disproportionate amount of the blame. And you know, to Troy's credit, he understands, you know, the business, and he has put the program in a very good place in terms of the talent in the program, the talent coming into the program. We will be successful, and I think that's going to be the harder part of this for Troy walking away is he set the table for success. And I don't think success is far away. And we hope that the investment that we make in a new coach will help us revive interest in the program, bring the fans back to the stands and the excitement that the players are going to bring to the program. All of those factors will help turn it financially so that there's a return on the investment we're making. And I'm confident that the investment that we continue to make in Troy is going to pay dividends for the university in terms of the good work that it'll continue to do.
What's the status of the assistant coaches right now, and where are they at?
Coach Knott has the remainder of the fiscal year, which goes through June 30th, on his current contract. Associate head coach Darren Blue's contract was tied to Coach Jutting's. That expires June 30, 2013. We think that they've done great work. We will certainly encourage any coaches coming into the program to take a strong look at our assistant head coaches, because we think we have very, very capable individuals in those positions.
Kevin, how important is it to find the right coach with the new WCHA coming in the upcoming years here?
I think it's critical. As others have alluded to, this is going to be an attractive opportunity. I think there are a lot of factors at play, not the least of which is the talent that's already in the program and the talent that's going to be coming into the program. I think that others will see the transition into the WCHA, that it positions us to be immediately more competitive in that league. We're going to be aligned with more schools that are similarly resourced, and I think we have a very valid opportunity to immediately enter that league and compete for conference championships and postseason opportunities, and I think that makes the position very attractive. So there's a lot of exciting things ahead. I think some of that was built on the foundation that Coach Jutting and his staff have put in place. I think some of it is about the transition in the league. I think some other things that make this attractive are the potential of the bonding project. We'll keep our fingers crossed. We should know there, but I think also that's even started a discussion of if that isn't successful, how else are we going to accomplish the facility improvements that are necessary? As Troy alluded to, those are absolutely critical to the future success of the program and are not completely contingent on bonding approval. I think that it started a discussion in the community and at this institution that those are an absolute priority, and one way or the other they have to be accomplished. And I think, as President Davenport alluded to, there's also a commitment of resources. Hockey is a flagship for the institution. It's high profile, it's our marquee sport, it's our Division I sport. We need to be successful. It's part of a bigger picture for the university in terms of how we position ourselves to the outside public.
Can you share with us the process? Did you go to President Davenport and say we should make a change, or did Mr. Davenport go to you, or how does that work?
I think all of us are responsible for the decision in terms of evaluating the program. I have to evaluate it from the perspective of what's best for the hockey program and what's best for the athletic department, and from a budget perspective and financially, I think Vice President Strachan and President Davenport have to evaluate from a more global perspective, and I think the discussion was mutual in terms of consensus after a lot of deliberation that change was necessary.
Final question for Kevin.
Kevin, is there anything particular that you're looking for when it comes to this new coach search? I mean, what is it that you're looking for in a new coach?
Well, I think somebody that can assess the opportunity at hand and that's excited about the opportunity and can see where the program is headed and the future direction of the program. I think that we're looking to bring in somebody that's got the professional background and experiences that are exciting and energize our fan base and alumni. I think those experiences and backgrounds are also going to be very important to our student athletes and our prospective student athletes. And then, again, I think it's about being having it's more, as these coaches will tell you, it's more about the X's and O's. They wear so many different hats. Public relations, fundraisers, a lot of the roles that we're going to ask Troy to expand on behalf of the university. Those are vital roles for our coaches, and being going concern in the community, advocating the right things in terms of the expectations of our student athletes. It's not all about on-ice performance. That's certainly critically important, but they have to insist on them being good citizens in the community and accomplished students in the classroom. And we have those things in place. And so there's a lot that I think will make this position very attractive.
Okay, thanks very much, everybody. One-on-ones over here, for those that want. Okay.